What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I am Aster the Hybrid Floof, owner of Retro Drift Pack Productions, and in today's video we are going to be going into part 2 of the Gran Turismo All-Star series. Now, if you have watched part 1, this video is perfect for you, but if you are here watching part 2 and you haven't even watched part 1 yet, what are you even doing here? Who starts at the sequels? So, yeah. Basically, that's pretty much all I gotta say right now. Also, there will be a recap, so let's recap over what we have seen in the first half of the championship so far. What's up, everyone? It's Aster the Hybrid Floof, owner of Retro Drift Pack Productions, back again with more Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Today we're stepping into one of the most iconic challenges in the game, the Amateur League Gran Turismo All-Stars. Now, if you played Gran Turismo 3, you already know this series isn't your average Sunday drive. The All-Stars Championship throws you against some of the fastest, most legendary racing machines in Gran Turismo history. These cars are built to dominate, and AI doesn't play nice here. Every lap counts, every mistake costs, and every overtake feels like a small victory. We got a 5-race lineup for part 1, which is Laguna Seca Raceway, home of the Brutal Corkscrew, D-Force Raceway Reverse, a technical favorite flipped on his head, Midfield Raceway, a Gran Turismo classic, smooth but punishing, Test Course, Slipstream Chess at 240 miles per hour, and Apricot Hill Raceway Reverse, an underrated gem with some tricky corners in its reverse layout. I'll be breaking down each race as it happens, the good, the bad, and the how did I survive that moments. And since this is part 1, we are only halfway through the gauntlet. Part 2 is coming soon, where the real monsters of this championship start to bare their teeth. And part 2 has indeed made its way back to the series sooner than later, as I said before, so buckle up and get ready to get drifting with me in part 2 of this series. I got some pretty new tracks that I guarantee y'all will like during this series. So let's dive right into the tracks and what we are going to be racing up against in this final stretch of the championship. So first up on the list, we got Rome Circuit Reverse, taking place in the heart of Rome, Italy, where the Colosseo can be seen as far as the eye can see. And then we have Seattle Circuit, which is roller coaster racing with the side of car insurance fraud. The third, we got Special Stage Route 11, and in my opinion, it is honestly the #1 track out of the entire Gran Turismo series. It has only appeared in 2 Gran Turismo game titles, which is the original Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo 3. It has not been seen since, and I don't know if it will make a comeback, but until that, it will make a comeback someday. For our 9th race, we got Valley Speedway Reverse, which is a long technical and a track that makes your tires cry because of how easily the tires will wear out with all the hairpins, turns, and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, to wrap things up with the championship, we got Tokyo Route 246 Reverse, the Scenic City Tour, but with the backwards. And my GPS is screaming at me currently because it does not want to cooperate with me doing this race. So yeah, buckle in and let's begin with the first race, which on the list is Rome Circuit Reverse. Alright. So we are here in Rome Circuit, and Rome was a city that wasn't built in a day, but somehow this is going to wear me down in 5 laps or less, especially my tires, because they're going to wear down faster. And we're off immediately into these tight streets. One wrong move and you're turning an ancient ruin into modern art. Rome Reverse is tricky because your braking points are all flipped. Normally I'd be blasting down that straight with confidence, but now I'm just praying the cobblestones don't send me into orbit. Also, here's a fun fact for you guys that y'all might not already know. Rome has been the Gran Turismo track since the PS1's days, but let's be honest, it always feels like the AI here drives like they're late to Sunday dinner with grandma. They will ram you with no hesitation, and do everything in their power to push you off the road, no matter what the consequence is. All right, we are in the second lap of the race, and the AI opponents have pretty much been left in my rearview mirror. I don't see them around anywhere, so this must be a good car to be using during this championship. I mean, obviously. As we make our way through the winding, narrow streets of Rome Circuit during lap 3, we are still way ahead of the competition. I mean, just look how far back these other AI vehicles are. I mean, they don't look that far, but let's give an estimate that they may be like 15 seconds behind my current car, which is a lot of distance for them to make up, which they won't make up. All right, currently we are in the fourth lap of this race, and something is just feeling very off today. Like, this track in reverse just feels cursed. Every time I turn, I'm like, wait, isn't this supposed to be a right-hander? My brain.exe has stopped working, honestly, and I'm just ready to get off of this track at this point. Right, we have officially made it to the final lap, and we are pushing through the final sector, holding strong, and across the line, Rome Reverse is in the books. Caesar would be proud, or maybe he just called me a barbarian. I don't know, really, to be honest. Alright, so we have officially made it past Rome Circuit, and now we are on the winding city streets of Seattle Circuit. A street course with big jumps, blind corners, and more elevation changes than my mood when test course showed. And we are off. Seattle immediately gives you that massive straight into a tight corner, so slam those brakes and pray that you don't crash into the first wall. Because if you crash into the first wall, it's over. Car's done, finished. And making it into our next straightaway, and then the corner after, we hit two massive jumps, and oh my goodness, those jumps are pretty massive, aren't they? And oh, here we go again. I'm surprised my suspension didn't break at this point, because in a real car in real life, your suspension would definitely break under this type of jumping pressure. Unless if you had like a rally specific vehicle, then I could see you the shocks basically absorbing the impact, but other than that, your suspension is done, it's cooked. Seattle was based on real downtown streets, which is wild because can you imagine commuting here? Starbucks on the left, a 240-mile-per-hour Toyota GT1 flying over your Corolla on the right. Absolutely normal Tuesday and absolutely normal behavior. There's nothing to see here. Also, another added note is that this is a track that has the 1 billion mile per hour glitch, so keep that in mind. And it's not the regular track, it's the reverse track. I'm really disappointed to say this, but after Gran Turismo 4, we never really got to see this track flourish once again. Like, it was completely removed from the game, expunged, erased. But there was a video that I did see on YouTube, and Seattle Circuit was actually intended to be added to the Gran Turismo series in Gran Turismo 5. I think it was in the prologue that it showed that specific circuit, but I don't know if it was due to copyright or licensing issues that it never came to be, or if it was just something else completely. But it would have been interesting to see Seattle Circuit make its way into the next generation of console during that time, which would have been the PS3. So that's a little bit of fun fact for y'all to take with a grain of salt. Okay, moving our way into lap number 3 in Seattle Circuit. The opponents are well way behind me. Like, it's not even a close competition at this point anymore. They're just, I don't even know what they're doing. I can't even really explain what they're doing. But I'm so far ahead that there's no chance for them to catch up because this is midway through the race and they may be like 20 to 25 seconds behind me. So even if I were to crash my car into something, I really don't think it would affect my time by that much. Maybe like 5 or 6 seconds. But yeah, I don't think they're catching up. Alright, so we have made it to the official final lap of this race, and I'm about as excited as you are to move on with this next race because, don't get me wrong, I love Seattle. I love the scenery in this race, but we must partake and say goodbye to Seattle Circus. So, other than that, I think we had a pretty good race. I mean, was it a close competition? No, not really. But at least we did get to view Seattle for this time around. There will be plenty of other times where we will be able to see Seattle. So, moving right along to our next race. Alright, folks, so we made it to the third track out of this series, part 2, and this is the 8th track out of the entire championship. And here it is, the crown jewel itself, Special Stage Route 11, my #1 favorite track in all of Gran Turismo. Special Stage Route 11 is the go. The lights, the vibes, the sharp corners, the long straights, everything about it is just peak Gran Turismo. It's moody, it's stylish, it feels like you're racing inside a PS2 tech demo but cooler. And as you can see, we are off to a really amazing start within the first lap. Actually, within the first 30 seconds of this race. So that's a new record itself. So let's clap it up real quick. But this is going pretty well so far. I mean, just look at all of this scenery. Also, I've been trying to figure out for years where this specifically is located. I have looked at some forums, and it came down to a couple places, but the most probably accurate place that this probably could be is at one of Japan's international airports. So that's another fun fact for y'all. Honestly, at this point, I'm still questioning why Gran Turismo decided to remove this track and scrap it entirely. But this was like probably one of the best tracks for like using all of your skills that you learn from every single license test in the game to combine it into one, basically. And I believe that it deserved to stay in the series. I mean, Polyphony swapped it out with Special Stage Route X, to be honest with you. And Special Stage Route X isn't really like it's still technically a city track, but it's more like a giant oval in a way. So, in my opinion, it should have been brought back a long time ago. But I don't know if we're ever gonna see this track again. I'm gonna just be 100% completely honest here. Alright, so we are halfway through lap 3 of this race, and one thing about this track is it's really what made me like city tracks in general. I mean, as I stated before, I'll reiterate it. It challenges your mind with the dexterity and stuff like that. But it's also why this track is specifically my favorite one is probably the giant Ferris wheel in the background because, you know, that's something nice to look at while you're racing around. And the opponents are yet behind once again. So as I said before, it's really no competition because I am the one using the most powerful car in the game, while the other opponents are using their JGTC and their rally cars. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this lap right now. And I will meet y'all back for the final lap. All right, for the final lap, we are heading towards the finish line. Like, we're almost there at the finish line, guys. Like, all we just got to do is do this specific thing right here. Neon's lights are glowing. I'm focused on the sharp left, smooth exit, and across the line. Special stage Route 11 is still my number one track. No arguments, no debate. This track is just a work of pure art. And I mean, y'all let me know honestly what's y'all favorite track in the entire Gran Turismo series. Like, I know some of y'all are probably gonna say like Special Stage Route 5, Special Stage Route 7. Nah, I'm lying. Special Stage Route 7. No one's gonna say that's their favorite track. If you say that's your favorite track, I'm gonna think something's wrong with you. But we have once again gotten on the leaderboard, and I believe we are at 80 points currently. So, well, thank goodness this editing is almost over. Also, we are at the next track, which is Grand Valley Speedway, the reverse version of it. Now, Grand Valley Speedway has been the staple since the original Gran Turismo series. It's been there since Gran Turismo 1, all the way up until Gran Turismo 6, and was recently added in Gran Turismo 7. But the Gran Turismo 7 version is completely different from what the Gran Turismo version that I grew up with had, basically, because the Gran Turismo 7 version is based in California, while all the others, of all the other Grand Valley Speedway races, it had an icon on where it was located in Gran Turismo 5. It said specifically that it's located in Japan. So honestly, I don't know what Gran Turismo was doing when they decided to move the track physically from Japan to California. It just doesn't make sense to me. As you saw previously, we passed through the large bridge that's in the middle of the race with the gorgeous scenery. Also, it's the perfect place to slam face first into a guardrail if you sneeze the wrong way. But aside from that, I mean, there's really not that much to say about this track. It's literally based in Japan. That's all I really got for y'all. Like, I really don't know any other information about this track. Like, okay, so we are midway through the race, and I'm gonna hit y'all with another fact. So, in the original Gran Turismo series, Grand Valley Speedway did exist, but there was also the Grand Valley Speedway E-Scores, which was also in Gran Turismo 1, the original Gran Turismo that started the whole series together. However, I think in Gran Turismo 2, they removed the track. Gran Turismo 3, the track was not there. And then Gran Turismo 4, they were like, hey, let's just add this track back. Just so the players can have a hint of that nostalgia that really made Gran Turismo what it was all the way back in 1997 when the first Gran Turismo game released for the original PlayStation console. All right, so we are officially in lap three, and the rivals are nowhere to be seen. I mean, you can clearly see them on the map, but when it comes to more technical advanced courses like this, the Formula car just generally flourishes a lot better than if it was a full straightaway track like a NASCAR track or something like that. But that's okay. I mean, at least the AI is trying. I'm kidding. I don't know what the AI is doing, honestly, again, because this game was made all the way back in 2001, so the AI could be doing something that I have no clue about what they are doing or like any knowledge of what they are doing, but they're a pretty far distance behind. It almost looks like they're like 30 seconds or something behind my vehicle, so let's keep up the pace, shall we? All right, we are on the final lap of this race, and take one good look at this bridge one last time, as this will be the last time we will be seeing this bridge, for now in this race at least. I mean, as I said in one of my other races, there will be plenty of times where y'all will see this in specific, like when I get to the next part of the championships, whatever the championship may be. It may be Gran Turismo World Cup Professional League. It may be something else completely, but you'll definitely see this track again in a later video. It ain't going anywhere. All right, so we are going into the final turn, make our way through the straightaway, and we are done with the race, which leaves us with 90 points in total. Wow. This has been one interesting journey for me to be doing this into a two-part series. I'm never doing this again. I'm gonna break it into separate races if I plan to do voiceovers, because this just took too long for me to edit, honestly. But I do it for y'all, so y'all might as well just leave a like and subscribe, because I'm not doing this just for free, you know? But let's move on to our next race, which we all know what the last race is going to be, so let's just dive right into it. Alright, so we have officially made it to the final race of this championship, which is Tokyo Route 246, but in reverse. Normally, it's a scenic joyride through the heart of Tokyo, but backwards. Yeah, it feels like my GPS is broken and yelling, rerouting every 5 seconds because y'all didn't have phones back then. Y'all had to rely on GPS and stuff like that, especially with the car models. Because I know because my mom had one in real life, and I think it was like $300-400. But I mean, just look at how far we've evolved. But that's aside from the point. So hopefully y'all enjoy this final race, and I will give some more commentary momentarily. So we have already passed through the straight, and it was pretty wide open, waxing down at insane speeds. But the braking zones are tricky in reverse. One mistake and you're basically introducing your car to Tokyo's architecture, which we don't want that, do we? Also, Tokyo is known for its more narrow streets than most countries because of how small the country of Japan is as a whole, so expect a lot of very sharp turns and sharp cornering during this entire race. So don't be surprised if I bump into a wall or two because the streets are that narrow. This track is famous for its massive straight and gorgeous city scenery. Honestly, it's like a tourism ad, except instead of walking the streets, you're blasting through them at 200 miles per hour. Also, I would not hope you're going through these streets at 200 miles per hour in real life because let's just say you're going to be meeting your maker pretty early if you went that fast on those type of narrow streets, and I'm pretty sure you would hit a pedestrian or two if you went that fast. So let's not try this at home. Let's leave it to the professionals in this game, which is me. Right, we are in lap 3 currently, and the rivals, of course, as always, they're really behind. About 20 seconds at least, I'm gonna give or take. But this is the last race, so whatever the rivals are trying to do, they're not gonna catch up, and they're not gonna win the race because I already got 90 out of 100 points already, so it's pretty much a no competition championship. When I first started this championship and where we're at right now, it was basically no competition. So that's all I got for y'all, and I will see y'all in the final lap. Alright, so we are officially done with the Gran Turismo All-Stars Championship Amateur League. Now that was one wild roller coaster for me to be making this video. And I'm not going to tell you all the specific amount of time I took making this video, but let's just say it was definitely worth it in the end. And of course we have gained another 10 points, which leaves our grand total to 100 points. Yes, you heard me right. 100 points. So out of all 10 races, we have dominated every single race. So let's move right on to what I call the outro, but it's a longer outro than usual, so let's just get right into it. And that's it, everyone. The Gran Turismo 3 Amateur League All-Stars Championship is complete. In Part 1, we survived Laguna Seca's Corkscrew, Test Course Chaos, and Apricot Hill's Betrayal. And in Part 2, we took Rome's History Lesson, yeeted through Seattle's Roller Coaster, praised the Almighty, Special Stage Route 11, endured Grand Valley, and wrapped it all up in Tokyo. This has been one of the most fun and chaotic championships in Gran Turismo 3. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and share it with your fellow Gran Turismo fans. It really helps keep the Retro Drift Pack productions rolling. I'm Aster, the Hybrid Floof, reminding you, drive fast, stay floofy, and never trust a wall on the street circuit. Peace out.